did. The only thing the India Alliance did as unit, the only thing they did was to boycott 14 anchors. I'm not going in the merits or demerits of those anchors. I'm not standing up for them or not going up for them. They boycotted anchors. That's the only thing they did together. Nothing else has been a consensus. And after that, what's happened has been personal attacks on media, which is completely given the BJP an advantage, which is not the way the Congress should be fighting. It's completely lost the plot. Look at how Karnataka is being handled. I agree, the BJP lied. I read it was an RSS, some sort of a RSS, a fact-check unit that came up with this as a novel, was actually Pakistan Zindabad. But the communication from the Karnataka government has been so terrible that you've lost the advantage. It's the Pakistan Zindabad, those bomb blasts, or it was a cylinder blast. Why are multiple people speaking? It's exactly the deja vu Shivraj Chauhan speaking. Shivraj Patil speaking when 26/7 happened. Karnataka, they've completely goofed up. You could have just had DK speak.
Poor Shivraj Chauhan, who's actually contesting from Vidisha. You called Shivraj Patil.
Sorry, I meant Shivraj Patil. I meant Shivraj. And look at how the BJP's handled this. Prime Minister speaking in local language. Now, what is the Prime Minister trying to show? Again, I'm not a fan of him, but what is he doing? He's a political animal, and I don't say animal in a bad way. I'm saying it that we are all in a political human being. What's he doing? He's dropped people who've made hate speeches, right? He's now going to Telugu, Tamil Nadu, speaking in Tamil, to Telangana, speaking in Telugu, going to Tamil Nadu, speaking Tamil. The accusation on the BJP, a Hindi-centric party. He's trying to make gestures. In politics, you make gestures. What are the India Alliance gestures? Tum kharab ho, tum Adani ke aadmi ho, tum Ambani ke aadmi ho, tum ye ho. How will we win an election? That man is doing everything. He even sent Tavleen a letter. Look at what he's doing. And what are we doing? Everybody.
Let's get Tavleen to talk about it.
It exasperates me that this is kindergarten politics that we're getting wrong. It exasperates me. And yet, the advisors are going about behaving as if nothing is wrong. I don't get these advisors at all. They're behaving, they're rude. They are living in a parallel universe. I just don't get what they're up to.
Okay, let me bring in Tavleen. I was actually going
to... Sorry, yes. They wrote a letter against a guy who won in Telangana. They wrote a letter against them. They wanted him out.
Barkha, the near
Can you hold
anger and burnout of Tehseen is the best survey on
what's happening in the Congress. But since you mentioned, Tehseen mentioned Tavleen, you have gone from being a supporter of the Prime Minister to being perceived as a critic of the Prime Minister and the critic of the Gandhis. But when your mother passed recently, and our condolences on her passing, and your son has actually been denied an OCI card because he's a trenchant critic of the Prime Minister. Even in the midst of that, you did receive a letter of condolence from the Prime Minister. And since Tehseen referenced that, I do want you to talk about what that moment felt like to you. Were you surprised to receive that letter?
I was astounded because when they threw Atish out, I rang Hiren Joshi. I must have rung him 200 times to say what is going on. And I got no response. And after my mother died, I get this, this letter of condolence. But that is good politics, right? When an election comes around, you need the media on your side. You can't start abusing the media. Do you know, I've been trolled today endlessly by Congress party trolls in the most disgusting way, bringing in personal stuff. And, she got dumped by Sonia in the 80s and that. I'm the one who wrote that. Nobody else would have known if I hadn't written it. So, and not just that, everything personal that they could bring in, they brought in. So, I actually am determined that we should somehow find a political party that will take on the BJP, because I really don't like autocracies. I'm a liberal Democrat to my heart, but liberal democracy does not survive when one party is so much more powerful than the others. The other thing is, just to come back to the point that, you keep attacking only Modi. So what are you saying? That if there was the BJP without Modi, that's all right by you? And then, things like Modi doesn't have a parivar. And what has he done? He's turned that around. He says, my family is India. My family is people of India. So, what I don't know, maybe if Tehseen knows if there is a strategy that is constructive as well. He's going on about Vikas. He's selling you the dream. He's selling voters the dream of a prosperous India. And what is the opposition's reaction? They say, we want a caste census. What are we doing? Caste census, this is 2024. How is it going to help to divide India up again into little castes and groups? And, let's then do a Muslim census, which kind of Muslims are you going to list? So for me, I'm really worried that
but it's not as if to be fair for a moment, Tavleen, it's not as if the BJP doesn't focus on caste. Its first list of candidates had 57 OBC candidates. And by the way, that's the letter that the Prime Minister wrote to you after your mother's passing on the screen, which you said you were astounded to receive. Now, you've criticized the caste census. 57 OBC candidates in the first list. It's not that the BJP isn't paying attention to caste.
Do what you want when you're choosing your candidates. Just don't keep announcing things like a caste census.
Okay.
That is really going back to Mandal. We're going backwards instead of forwards. And you're dealing with a man who has very successfully sold the idea to voters of prosperity. He hasn't probably given it to them yet, but it's a